Ooh, I have 12. I'm winning.
Oh, there's points?
This is not a competition, is it?
Oh, you started this. I didn't know there was points. Okay, game on.
No.
Welcome to Puzzle with Emilia. That's me, but today is not only about me. Absolutely not, because once upon a time, okay, I'm just kidding, but Tobias Priemer, who you may know also as the Swedish champion from 2021, and also the highest ranked Swedish speed puzzler from the world's last year, sent me a message that, hey, what if we have like a chit chat on a video call with some other top speed puzzlers, play some online puzzle game that I never heard before, because the worlds are so close. And maybe if we manage to discuss something important, maybe I can use it for YouTube. So anyway, starting with who did we invite? Of course, I automatically thought, okay, we must have Chiara, because Chiara is one of the top 10 best speed puzzlers in the world and also have been already in the worlds twice, so this is gonna be her third time. And then you all know a huge pillar of the community, Schuler, who's also one of the top speed puzzlers. So 4 of us going to chit chat, play some puzzle game, discuss. There was obviously some technical issues. Me randomly going places with my screen sharing, but we were able to capture most of it, so I hope you will enjoy. I hope so. Yeah! Let's go! Woohoo!
Hello.
Hi.
Right
Welcome.
in the good moment, I was like, no, we only need more participants, and here she comes.
Right on time.
Woo!
Oh, yay!
We have everybody here!
Hello.
Hi. This is important history being made here. We have to make sure it's all recorded.
I saw your video with the talk. It was really good.
Oh, thank you. I clearly am out of the loop because I didn't know this was happening, but also I don't go on Instagram very often anymore, which is sad.
So I gave a talk at the beginning of July at a conference,
That's so cool.
about my story and a little bit what speed puzzling is, but mostly it was like my story of how I ended up starting to speed puzzle. And they put the recording up on YouTube, so now people have been actually watching it.
It's on my to-do list now to watch it. I just put it on there.
I love it. You have a pen and everything, like.
Oh yeah,
yes.
I have 3 different colors.
First priorities.
Yeah, you were in pink, so that's priority.
How can we play the game? How does it work?
Yeah. But let me start. What kind of picture do you want? Do you want is there a gradient sky or some city? And Chiara, did we lost her?
Oh, I'm just gonna do a look at it once and never again.
That famous Danish harbor in Copenhagen.
Yeah, I feel like I've done and seen this from different angles in other
Yeah,
puzzles.
it's very common. Yeah.
Oh, those don't go together. Oh, they do! Haha! I put a piece together, guys.
Yeah. Should I take an easier puzzle, maybe more colorful? Or we just go along with this one?
I mean, this image is gonna be really hard.
Yeah, I figured that.
So, if you were picking a puzzle to do casually, is this the type of puzzle you would pick for yourself?
Maybe.
Okay.
Well.
I always wonder about that because I don't think, a lot of people in the United States would never pick this type of image.
Chiara, you're back. Can you hear?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What's the strategy? Are we trying to do the edge or?
I don't know. I just was putting pieces together. This is so tiny.
It is very tiny. Well, we can make it big. You can make it bigger.
Our full focus will be in
Flat
this.
At the top.
Oh my God.
And if you look at the top right, you can see how many pieces you put it together.
Ooh, I have 12. I'm winning.
Oh, there's points?
This is not a competition, is it?
Oh, you started this. I didn't know there was points. Okay, game on.
No, I am not going for winning. I'm just putting pieces in.
Let's restart now with a smaller piece count and more colors, I think.
Yeah.
So that will be more fun.
This will be a restart us.
Yeah, I'm picking a new one.
put your recording on if you don't have one.
I do, but it seems like it shuts down automatically.
I love your plushie. What's the name of a plushie?
Prim.
Cute. Oh, what's the picture gonna be? Oh, this one looks fun.
Yeah, just colorful umbrellas. So you don't really need the picture, I think.
Okay, this is our image. Cute. Okay, what were we supposed to talk today? No, we're just playing.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want, but my first thought was just to a pre-talk for the Worlds, because it's like 50 days today.
Did you say
They have that countdown on the site. And
yeah,
it's
they
on
do,
50.
isn't it? I feel like it's... No, but wait a second.
Not enough.
Not
yeah,
enough
that's
days.
that's for sure.
That's not enough time. I'm so nervous.
Same.
There are so many new fast people.
So fast. Yes.
Yeah.
And then like there's already all the fast people from last time.
And a bunch of new ones.
I can maintain my rank.
That would probably be hard to just stay on the same placement as last year.
Yeah, I
think I'll be able to because I did really, really bad last year in the finals.
What was your placement? I don't even remember right now.
I mean, like, I still did great. I got 45th, but going in, sitting at the number 3 spot.
Oh yeah.
Coming out at 45. I knew I wasn't gonna do well though, because that puzzle was really not a Sarah style puzzle.
I don't know. I call that kind of like traditional type of puzzle, kind of like plain and somehow intermediate level, and like nothing super special on it.
Yeah.
The last 2 years has been like that. No controversial at all, but quite bland.
I wonder if they're going to do a photograph again, because they did a photograph of, a place twice in a row.
I hope they don't.
I think yes.
I don't love them either, but I don't know.
But now I actually have to get to the final, so this is kind of like a pointless conversation for me if I don't even make it that far.
No, you'll make it.
I mean, I feel like last year it was like I had no expectations. I have absolutely nothing to lose, just to gain. I was such a newbie. And then I was kind of like doing fine-ish. So now I feel like there's a lot of expectation, whether it's from myself or from the outside. But there is like expectation no matter where they're coming. And now I'm like, what if I don't even qualify?
Yeah, it's hard when you are like people know that you're going to do well. And then you have this pressure to do it. So now it's this year. It's just I want to do better than I did last year in time, hopefully, if it's a similar style image.
It feels like so much depends on what image comes. Both who will win and what times and most things. So it's hard to do it really fair with just one puzzle as a final.
That's very true. I feel like it would be cool if they somehow could work it out where, like, you did just 6 rounds. Everyone did 6 rounds of puzzles or something like that. And we all got different images, but they're all similar. Like everyone does a landscape. Everyone does a picture like this. Everyone does, all the different types. And then you average your times.
But it should be the same image though, right?
Well, I mean, if we're doing it because you can't see the image ahead of time, So kind of like how at US Nationals, it was 3 different food images.
Mm-hmm. But they weren't so similar. Like if you look at the times,
the team was the same, but I think the difficulty level was a bit different. At least if we compare the easiest and the hardest.
Yeah, but it's hard to tell for sure earlier. I do like the idea though of doing more than one puzzle and taking the average.
Probably would just be like that. Top 10 of the regular final that would advance to this super final.
And do X puzzles, yeah.
The harder the puzzle, the better for me. Because, oh, by the way, Tobias, sorry, I have to. But I saw your time on the puzzle you sent me today, the pink thunderstorm. And my time is better than yours. It's actually on the top now of the list in myspeedpuzzling.com.
That's great. But that's one of my worst kind of images. So I'm not surprised, but I really have to practice those nature, especially those with no foreground. It's just very distant and very low detail.
Yeah, it was so, but I was like, when you sent to me, I was like, okay, I did the same. I hope you won't ask my time because probably you did it like in 50 minutes. And then I went to check like just before we started this chat, and I was like, wait a second, my time is best. I did it in an hour and 14.
Nice. Yes, we happened to do the same puzzle today.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
I have to go look up what puzzle you actually did.
It's one of the new Power of
show you.
Nature Ravensburger with the Thunder, it's called. I think it's kind of a sequel to the Lightning from last year.
Oh, yeah.
It looks more colorful and detailed, especially the bottom part in this image. But when you had the pieces, I was like, this is literally just black. There's no details. I mean, it looks hard, but it doesn't look that hard in this that it is, at least in my opinion. But
yeah, it's harder than it looks.
When there's people who are always faster than you, and it's not like I'm not even near to Tobias' time ever, and then I was like, yes, mental victory.
A similar puzzle is this barley rice field, and I'm terrible at that one as well. So.
Okay, that one I think I did 47 in a competition with that one.
Oh, that one was that the one from Nationals for US? That was the pairs.
Yeah, I think you did that as well.
I think.
And I'm like over an hour or something.
Speed puzzling is just getting huge in the United States now.
Wow.
Well
okay,
done.
that was fast.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
I did barely anything though. I forgot the whole thing and I was just talking, but that's very me, so.
My arm is tired from this now.
Chiara beat me by one again. She has beaten me twice with 1 second in competitions, I think.
Well, you've also beaten me, so.
Yeah.
Like, you're really fast. You're part of the people that I'm afraid of this year.
Oh yeah, you had a crazy time in the World Jigsaw Jam that you won with the 38 minutes or something?
39.58, so just under the 40, and that felt good. Sorry to break your winning streak.
Well, I won once, and it was because I speculated once again the puzzle again right, and
But
I
you
had
won
it in my collection.
the pairs as well. Right.
Oh
before.
yeah, true that. Wow. Okay. I don't think if you can. Well, okay, maybe it counts. Thoughtful.
I'm reading about the Euro Jigsaw Jam.
Yeah.
I wanna do one sometime, but
Well, it's. I think it's kind of exactly like the speed puzzling one. It's just that it's in Europe, so
But it's
cheap
Europe.
and in hours that work for us. Which is what, like I had been wanting to do one of the speed puzzling one for like a year, I think, but then I was always, oh no, I have to buy it, a month before, and it was always late, and it was also, but I'm not sure which one to do because I need to be sure that I can do it at that time, and it's since there's like 40 euro of like shipping just because it's from the US to here.
I've been just so busy hosting jigsaw puzzle contests that I haven't been doing any competitions, which is fine because I think I found my new passion is getting people excited about speed puzzling. And
you ran the one at Puzzle Parlay too, right?
Yeah, that one was fun. It took 12 minutes for the first place team to finish their puzzle, which was really fast. It was only like 158 pieces, I think, but a wooden puzzle with a secret ending. So it was it was a difficult 100-piece puzzle. I'm also just signing up for a myspeedpuzzling.com.
You should do that. I think very fun to compare.
Yeah, I need to do that because I have all my times written out in a sheet, and this would just be easier.
What do you think about what are you expecting of the World's event itself if we put the competition aside?
I was just on the phone with someone before this talking about I want to bring some stuff with me to like give away. And we're talking about what I'm gonna bring, and I think it'll be fun and interactive, like just a little fun community puzzle type situation.
Sarah, how was the jet lag for your Americans last time?
I came in early a few days so that I had time to adjust, but the jet lag for that was way worse than when I went to Australia.
But didn't impact your competitions, do you think?
I don't think so, because I came over early enough where I had time to adjust, which was really nice. But I do think it can affect people because, I mean, I feel like Europe really gives a lot of like paid time off from work compared, I feel like, to the United States. But maybe I'm wrong.
It does on average.
Yeah, but a lot of us are like, okay, we're just flying out the day before.
Yeah.
And now that I run my own business, like I can't be gone for a crazy amount of time. So
Yeah, that's one of the big takeaways from my trip last year, that it's so much focus on competing and watching competitions. So it's no more time for anything but rest and puzzling.
Yeah, at least I was watching like literally the live stream from the hotel room when I wasn't competing, because it's like you just can't.
Yeah, that's all on your mind.
yeah, I like watching everyone, but it's gonna be so full this year. There's no way it can stay in that space that it's being hosted in going forward, because it's just way too big.
Yeah,
it's too many people. There's also like 6 guys competing compared to
the rest.
Everyone is, it feels like it's very woman heavy sport.
Yeah,
it is. I actually love that. It was a surprise when I first went to Valladolid, how much, like 90% or so were women in the room. And I didn't expect that. Well, now you probably would, because if you see the live streams or like some of the recap videos, etc., like you would know what to expect. But for me, it was a surprise 3 years ago.
I always joke with people in the around my area. I'm like, if you want to find a girlfriend, come to one of my puzzle competitions.
Chiara, you have been at Worlds 2 times, right?
Yes,
so
this would be the third one.
How was the difference between those 2 competitions?
Well, mostly the size of it. Like it more than doubled in size, and so there were so many more people to meet, and it was much more alive and much more international too. Like the first year, I think at least half of the people were from Spain, so there was a lot of Spanish people, and like you could also hear people talk in Spanish much more. Well, like it was more international, I feel, last year. And I do wonder how we are going to fit in the dome this year.
I don't think we are. Like, if you're not competing, you're not going to be able to be in there.
And I guess many people want to cheer for their friends and watch the top names compete. So all the competitors are also the audience in a sense. So.
Yeah.
It's a shame if they can't go there and just watch.
I don't think it works super well on the dome for the audience anyway. Like, it's really hard to see what's going on. Like, you have a better experience if you do go to the hotel and watch the live streams.
Yeah, probably.
I liked staying in the dome last year, mostly because I was chatting with people in the meantime and like sitting on the floor in the back and doing puzzles and things like that. But the cheering for people and watching what they're doing, it was really hard to see.
No, I think you're right. I didn't like that either. It was hard to see what was happening, and
Go away.
You want to see a trick?
Is up closer.
What? What happened?
Oh,
What?
how did you do that?
What was this?
I did a
That
little.
was nice.
Somebody's cheating. Is there anybody coming with you for the worlds that is not like speed puzzling?
No, I'm very single, so no.
Single and ready to mingle.
Yeah, maybe I'll find someone at Worlds.
I'm a bit curious about the US Nationals. That was more like a convention, right? With some talks and other activities.
Yeah, there was some other
very nice.
activities, which was cool. I would like to see that at something like Worlds, where there's
Yeah,
things for you to do. I mean, there's obviously, like, if you're a social person, there's things for you to do because you just go and make new friends. But I think if I wasn't super outgoing, Worlds would be kind of stressful. Because,
Yeah, you had all the artists as well, right?
Yeah, which is my favorite part. I love getting to meet the artists and talking to them about their puzzles and like learning about the process behind the images. I really just enjoy that. And I really like to be friends with all the artists. They're all so nice.
Yeah, they are. And they were also excited about having like people do their puzzle and be so excited to meet them.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Another one.
So what do you think about the schedule for this year? With the extra day and the extra pairs semifinals? Do you think that's necessary?
So I think that I missed because I feel like they changed the amount of pieces in the puzzles like a couple times.
Yes.
There's been
So now, what is it right now? Like, what's happening?
So there's a couple of rule changes. So first of all, the Paris final was supposed to be with 500. Well, now it's with the 1,000-piece puzzle. Then they changed the schedule, so the individual final was supposed to be before Paris final. Those got switched. And also the amount of people that will qualify from Paris semifinals to the final dropped in half. And they changed a little bit the numbers here with the country rule.
I was actually surprised when they changed it to 500 because I thought already in January or whenever it was then when they said it that it was not going to work probably.
Yeah, I was kind of sad when they had changed it to 500 because I feel like it gives you more time to get better throughout it if you have more time, you know? That made no sense. But
I got
hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think we got it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have wanted the 500 just because.
Me too, I think. At least have the same in the qualifiers, so it's the same type of competition. Because if you're good at one thing and not the other, it's
That's
like
true.
two different things.
And obviously, I don't think it matters whether it's 1,000 or 500. I think the biggest issue here was the communication and literally changing rules and not communicating until people found it and started sending emails and DMs to the federation. And then
Even now, like they still haven't sent out an email to everyone.
They put one post on Instagram where they just said that they have changed it from 500 to 1,000. But there were so many rule changes even after that because it kind of snowballed a little bit.
I think so. I think that there were multiple competitions during the year that were with 500-piece puzzles, and too many people were finishing goal at the same time. Alfonso actually mentioned it at some point that he did realize that maybe the puzzle was too small for the competition. It's not, they cannot handle it even with the times to write down all of the people that they have, the volunteers, just to write down the times and the finishings. If there are going to be too many people finishing at the same exact second, and they just cannot handle that, and the 1,000s allow you to spread out people a little bit.
That's true, and I've actually also heard that. I think there's a lot of stories. That's why I would like the federation to just put it why, because now it's people speculating, and I hate when even I do that, but it's people discuss about it. So then it would be, I think everybody would just support whatever decision they make, but just kind of tell us and communicate.
So we can be prepared.
Yeah. What kind of, if you would need to give one tip for all the people who come there for the first time, what would that be?
Eat food.
Yes.
I didn't do that last year. And then I also didn't do it at nationals. I was not eating enough food. And then I got really sick on the last day and almost didn't make it downstairs for final individuals. That's a stupid thing to be my number one thing, but
no, I think it's actually quite good. It's because I think a lot of people have done that mistake.
I would have gone with drink water because that was also my first instinct. The first year, I also almost fainted. I was so nervous. And I wasn't drinking enough water. It was also in June and not September. So last year it was kind of cold. The year before, when it was in June, it was really, really hot.
Yeah, and resting. Especially those last days, if you're on every competition and you have 2 or 3 a day, you just have to focus on staying fine and just resting when you can and just to focus on the competition.
Yeah.
That's having those two pairs and individual finals back to back. That's if you are in both, that's great, but it's very taxing on you to be competing on that level for that time.
Yeah. I also think like setting good expectations for yourself, like with your competition, because like it's overwhelming. And I know like I'm not going to win worlds, like unless something catastrophic happens and I'm just really good at that puzzle. Like there's no way I will win over people like Alejandro and Kristen and even like Alice from the US now. She's so fast. So setting like expectations more about like the time you want to finish in as opposed to finishing in a certain place. Like, oh, you still got in under an hour or whatever. Like,
especially this year with so many new people, it's going to be really hard to know what the placement or anything is like, because nobody really knows what the ranking is going to be like.
And like even within the US, the JPAR scores that we have are like our national score. And like I got second in the nation, but I'm like 15th on the JPAR list.
Oh,
How does it work?
So yeah, it's very odd. Like I understand the methodology behind what, but it's because I got 45th at Worlds, but it's ranked the same as, you know, all of the other competitions that we do in the US where it's, you know, less.
Okay, well that's a bit, I mean, it's
but shouldn't
completely...
they count only the US people at Worlds?
Yeah, but
The
only the good US people are going to Worlds. Like you're not, unless you like just want to go on a vacation, like you're going because you're really good at it, as opposed to all of our other competitions where like you can compete at your own house.
Right, and not everybody is participating in all of the competitions. So like,
yeah, so it's so hard to judge yourself against other people. So I know I'm fast. I don't have to be the fastest in the world or even close to be proud of myself.
I have another tip, or actually, now that I think of it, like I would say, do make the effort to try and connect with people, like meet a couple of people. Like everybody that I've met, and I've met like more than 100 people, I think, last year. Like everybody is really, really nice and really friendly. And like this is an amazing community, and it's really easy to just chat with someone for 5 minutes because everybody there just loves puzzles and we're all kind of the same. And you're not going to get another chance like that. Like Worlds is kind of unique because it's Worlds and there's so many people from all over. And this year is going to be even more true. So that is an advice I would give, so that you can bring home something, even if it's not, you know, a permanent connection because you have chatted for 15 minutes and then you never talk to each other again. But...
No, yeah, that's a great point, because I didn't do that much last year, but this year I think I'm starting to know much more of the other international puzzlers. So it's really looking forward to meeting people this time.
Yeah, I met people last year and they were like, if you ever come to Australia, you can stay with me. And I was like, don't be kidding, because I will come to Australia and stay with you. And then I ended up going to Australia 2 months later and being there for a month and just staying with people I met at Worlds, which was so cool.
That's
Like, what an
cool.
experience. I'll never, like, you would not find that in a lot of other communities.
Chiara, do you know why there's so many Germans this year?
I don't, but there's so many. I know, like there's more Germans than Americans, I think, this year.
And even Spanish.
What?
Yeah.
Is it?
We better
Really?
up our game. I'm going to go on there right now. World.
Yeah, there's...
What? Oh, that is
Did someone
true.
drop a piece on the floor?
What the?
Yeah. 171 German. We did do one competition in Hof, like Kati organized that, and it was full. Like it sold out in 2 days, I think, but it was just 100 people, and this is double that, and it's a much longer travel. I guess Spain is kind of close, so it's not a big thing to say, okay, I will take a week and go to Spain. I was looking at it grow and grow in numbers, and I was like, whoa.
And I feel like I don't even really know anything. Like if you would ask me like top 10 from Germany, and then I can name Kathy, and that's it. Like I don't feel like I even have
I don't
a lot
know
of
who the second fastest German
like
person.
who are all these like 171 people?
There's honestly a lot of people on the US list that I don't recognize their name.
Like even it's not even only just the people who were last year, because I know a lot of people who were last year are not coming this year. So it's like a crazy amount of new people.
It was similar last year. I don't remember who, but someone did the statistics, and it was like 80% of the people that participated last year had never been to Worlds before, like in the 2 editions before.
Oh, wow.
And there's a lot of people who sign up from Egypt. I think it's because they just had their championship. Unfortunately, their champion is not coming, but
Oh, that's too bad.
yeah, I asked. She said that maybe next year.
There are some competitions this year that are spread out during multiple days, like the teams qualifier. They have one qualifier, let me see, on the Friday and 2 on the Saturday. I think that's a bit unfair, because if you have on Saturday before your 2 big finals, you're really exhausted. So it's very good to have one the day before, so you can rest the whole morning.
Yeah, I'm kind of like hoping, like literally hoping for a luck with the group, group selection, because like, and that's why I was also annoyed when they changed that the individual final will be last, because it's higher priority for me. So I was like, then I can just give everything I have left for the pairs. But now it's kind of like, do I save some energy in the pairs final so I can for sure be in the best shape for individual or no?
It's gonna be a hard question for everybody. Plus, there is no time for dinner, because like dinner it's at 9 p.m. like Spanish time, but I probably need some food in between, and like it might be really short.
Again, bring snacks, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year when Michaela and I were doing the pairs final, we were giggling the whole time. I wish that we were mic'd up. I get mic'd up a lot for competitions with my little microphone. But that one we weren't. And the things that they did catch on, I don't know if it was in video or on the big screen. Michaela and I were both going to put pieces into the same place, and we hit each other's hands and they flew everywhere. It was so funny. And we were just like laughing so hard because we were so tired. I hadn't eaten in days. I was like delirious. We kept she brought her fiance, who was just her boyfriend at the time, and we kept making him go find me food, because it's hard to find vegetarian food, honestly, in Valladolid, because it's so like ham heavy. There's a lot of ham in everything. But this year I know where the Taco Bell is. And you know what?
Oh yeah, I also said the Taco Bell.
Good backup.
The Taco Bell is the most. Where should you go in Valladolid? To the Taco Bell.
That's Russian place as well.
And it's way better than US Taco Bell. I'm just going to say
also,
that.
yes, it's also better than the Finnish Taco Bell.
Yeah, they have like so many good vegetarian options that are not in the US, and I'm mad about it. I want them to come here.
We also had very nice, like a supermarket next to our hotel. So there was really good pizza, because we have a kitchen in our room. So we just bought the pizza, because then you can, if you come really late, you can just do the pizza in your room. And
I'm staying in a hotel this year. Last year I was in an Airbnb, which was nice, but there's construction every morning outside starting at 7 a.m. every day.
Lovely.
Even on Sunday, which is weird. In the United States, there's like not construction on Sundays.
No, and the funny thing is that the time that you actually go see the shops and everything is closed in the afternoon. I'm like, what?
Yeah, we gotta have siesta.
I'm doing the opposite. We're staying in an apartment this year instead of a hotel, because I was missing like having a couch, watching the competitions, and a big table to do the practice on.
Oh my gosh. I don't practice when I get there.
Okay.
I like to, I call it starving myself for a puzzle. Like have you ever like not eaten something in a really long time and then you're like super excited to like have that again and then you just like devour it? That's how I do about jigsaw puzzles. So I didn't do any puzzles for the week before Worlds, so that I could like really want to do a puzzle.
No, but that might be actually really smart.
Yeah. And people always ask like, what's your strategy? How do you practice? And it's 100% has to be different for every single person because everyone does puzzles differently.
Yeah, everybody has their own like weaknesses and strengths. That's why also when I give like tips, I always point out that this is very general tips that you still need to know your own situation, what's going on, and what there's like literally like opposite kind of practices. So if you're this type, you do this, and if you're this type, you do this. But
yeah, I love that you're doing like the training stuff because I've been like doing it with a few people in the Twin Cities area, like coaching them while I watch them puzzle. And it's good for me too because it makes me think about puzzles differently. Like, oh, I see they're doing this and I would have done this instead. Why would I have done that? And is what they're doing, even though they're like slower than me in general, but like is what they're doing better than what I would have done? And like try it that way. Yeah. So but like giving people different options of how to do things.
And I think it's very interesting. Well, obviously I have a coaching experience, but also because I can also coach people who are faster than me, and there is still like clear value that I can bring because it's a different skill than actually. I mean, it's not like you watch soccer or something. It's not like the coaches are always the ones who were the best players. Yeah. So it's a bit different thing, but yeah, I really enjoy it. So
yeah, I like seeing all the different ways that people do things. I think that's my favorite part of my job right now with hosting all the contests is I just get to sit there and watch people put puzzles together all the time. So I like pick up things, or I go, oh, that's a really not good way of doing this. I'm gonna make sure that I don't do that, or that's a really good way of doing that. I should go try flipping my pieces that way.
Oh yeah, and sometimes you're like, wait a second, like how people do that. But one thing interesting I've noticed that a lot of people do the double tap. And it's very interesting that everybody does, it's literally a lot of people who double tap, but it's also people who have never seen other people speed puzzle, like a full real-time video. So they haven't like picked it up as a habit from somebody else. So I'm like, yeah. I was reading all this neuroscientific like research. It's like, where is this coming from? And then I talked with Daniel, and he was also like that. Also in apparently in climbing, people do the double tap. So it seems to be occurring in also other aspects of life. So I'm really interested in this kind of stuff.
I like when people get on their keyboards while the live streams are going and they're typing like, you shouldn't do this, you should do that. And it's like, okay, like, cause I puzzle with my hair down. I hate having my hair pulled back, and it would distract me the entire time to have my hair pulled back. So people are like, wow, you could shave like 20 seconds off if you didn't touch your hair. But it's like a comfort thing for me. Like, so I'm not just moving pieces around. Like I grab, like I, adjust where my hair is or something like that. Or when I double tap, it like the dopamine I feel like is just so much more in my brain when I double hit it instead of just one time. Like it boosts me even though it takes longer for me to do it like that.
Yeah, exactly. So. And there is never like fully like perfectly optimized performance. It like you can aim for that and you can look for pointers, but it's not like a thing that exists in reality ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that we both just gave up on the puzzle. My computer wasn't letting me load the page anymore, so I gave up.
You didn't even look at the last puzzle, right? I don't see either of you in there.
I have a practical tip for practicing for Worlds, because last year they said the table size was, 180 length and 80 width, but they're actually 70 width, because we built the 1,000 pieces on the other way.
Yeah.
And they just barely fit. So when
there is a picture with the measure and the table.
Yeah, so if you're taping up your table, just make it 70 instead.
Yeah.
Maybe they will change table this year. I doubt it, but in that case, you just have practice a little bit smaller than actual.
Yeah, I taped off my section a little bit smaller in all the directions, just to like challenge yourself, because then when you get there, you're like, wow, I have so much space.
Exactly. I always also tell people that practice with the harder like environment, because then it will be like, oh, this is a little bit easier. But if you make it easier for yourself while you're at home, then it's really gonna like mess your head game, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, like I put my lights up and I'm like, I cannot touch them now. Like if I'm practicing, I'm like, I'm gonna put the lights like a daylight situation, and then I'm not allowed to move them around. Like try to practice in bad lighting situations. I like moved my table around my house so I could try it in different rooms. And like I have 2 dogs, and so I just like let them be annoying the whole time.
Anything can happen.
I got headphones that don't have, like, they're just earplug ones.
Yeah.
That you can still hear some things, but it really dampens the sound. And I really like those, because then I can't hear the commentators talking, or I can hear them, but I can't hear what they're saying. So then in my head, I just go there just talking about how good I am. And that's motivation for myself.
That, like, I kind of freeze. I kind of put a piece in for a little bit after the cameramen show up, because I feel the pressure. Like now everybody's actually watching me, and like I need to do this, and then I just like,
And then you're just sitting there like, just moving your hands, but not actually putting anything in.
Exactly. That's what happens for like, I don't know how long. That's hard to tell, because like time like is weird, like your perception of time, but like for sure for at least a few seconds, like yes, I keep moving my hands a lot, and I don't do anything after the camera shows up, and then I forget about them and I go back to normal.
At nationals for the US in 2022, when we had it before this one, we had like, it was, the lighting wasn't great in there. It wasn't bad, but it was just kind of dim. And the camera people had this big light that they carried around with them. And so our team, whenever they were over by us, were like, go work on all the dark stuff that you can't see all the details in unless they're standing here. So it was like kind of, I mean, we didn't win because of that. We won because we were good, but like it definitely helps. Like, so that's good that like Worlds does not have that situation. Like they do not turn lights on with their cameras, and they didn't do that this year at nationals either, that I noticed anyway.
No, I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, I don't think
this story is new for me.
But I was like, that's kind of unfair. Like if you're not on the thing, you're not getting the, but, and then also sometimes the light would come and it would just wash out everything. Like it would just make everything be a glare, so you couldn't see anything. So I'm glad that they're not doing that. Hopefully they don't do it at Worlds. I'm glad that Alfonso doesn't fly the drone during the competitions, because that would distract me so much.
I wonder if he tried and someone told him not to. Or
I think so. But it's funny.
I was really impressed with the camera work last year, with like 3 camera teams, I think, and other people coordinating them, pointing out where to go and so. So I'm really looking forward to see what they can bring up this year.
Yeah, I think this year that, I don't know if the broadcasts are going to be different, but I know that one of the, there's someone from the United States coming over that also will be on one of the things directing cameras. So I don't know if they're using like more teams and like.
How was it to commentate, Emilia? That was new experience for you back then, but.
It's the best. I love doing it. If I could be literally just like a speed puzzling commentator, and even if I would need to drop competing myself, I would probably do that. Like hoping that we will grow also somehow financially, you know, that there will be like new opportunities.
More sponsors.
Like it's going to be shown on ESPN here soon, our sports channel. I don't know, is that like a national, is that, yeah, they have them in other ESPN in other countries. Clearly I'm just a dumb American right now.
No, it is the American one, but
yeah, but like
you can watch it also.
They're gonna show it on not the main ESPN, but like one of the side channels that they have. And I think that's just so cool that it's going to open it up to so many more people seeing it. It'd be cool. More championships. We just need more puzzling, more speed puzzling.
Yeah.
My husband is looking at me like I don't know what he wants. He's maybe done with the puzzles. There's puzzles everywhere in this house. Like, you know, kitchen table is invaded, all the chairs, the kitchen counter and desk and our bedroom. And Daniel, how do you like the puzzles?
Yeah, at least it's not in my wardrobe anymore. So
Oh, it used to be also in his wardrobe, but I fixed that situation at least.
I got it back.
I'm lucky I live alone and have a bedroom that's dedicated to puzzles.
I'm actually only collecting Ravensburger. The other ones I give away when I'm done.
Oh, yeah, I get rid of all of mine when I'm done. I just have a really big to-do pile.
Mostly same. Well, I'm also keeping some of the Ravensburger, the 500, because I go through them too quickly. But the rest, yes, it's just a huge to-do pile.
But I think my issue is now listening to you guys that I actually don't give any puzzles away. I buy it and it's mine forever. So
That's where
maybe I should
every
work on
puzzle ends
that.
up.
Yeah, but I like everything that I buy. So how do you choose what to give away? I like them all.
It's a problem of space. Like if you want more new puzzles, then you have to get rid of some.
No, then you buy a storage. No?
Well,
No?
that's a bit more expensive than the new puzzle.
I mean, if I buy an office, I'm pretty sure there will be also puzzles.
If you make it your job, I don't know how taxes work there, but it's a write-off here. You get less tax in the end. Yeah.
It was really fun talking to you. I don't know if this is anything Emilia can use, but it was nice to just talk about things in your mind.
It was fun to hang out and
Yeah.
chat. I'm glad that everyone else is nervous about how many puzzles we have to do that weekend. Not just me.
Yep. Can somebody please, by the way, calculate all the participants and all the puzzles, all the rounds? How many pieces in total?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna be like a crazy amount. What? It must be like over.
Okay, there's 500. I'll write it down.
You
So
need
for
pen
individuals,
and
there's
paper.
500. I'm on it. Oh wait, are we asking like with the amount of participants or just in general if you did one of every puzzle that weekend?
Like the whole pieces in that whole event.
Oh
Everything.
man, I don't know how many people in each round right now.
There are one,
It's so much I cannot even my brain cannot even give an estimate.
Is one group of 1,000 times 100. Oh, so we are getting our own table then.
Yeah, we are.
God bless.
But it means less people go to the finals.
Yeah, that's one of the rule changes.
I'm okay with that because probably I'll be in the finals, but also maybe I suck and I don't make it.
It's a great wrap up. I'm just drawing this kind of tiny little calculation up in the air.
I know, I'm trying to 100. So 6 times 500 times 200. Well, in the first group, we're doing 600,000 pieces.
Yeah,
My brain can't. I heard 6 and then some thousands.
Then we have 2 times 500 times 180. 1,800,000 or 180,000. So for individuals, total pieces 870,000 pieces. Did you get the same amount as me?
Yeah, I did. And for pairs, it's 590, which is less. And then we have teams, which is 810,000 again.
that's assuming everyone registers, but that's not quite full.
Yeah, that's going out of that assumption, which is not fully correct, but that's how many puzzles they're counting. So that's 2,270,000 pieces.
Holy. That's a nice number.
But it depends what is the statistic that you want. How many pieces are going to be put together? How many pieces are going to be on tables? Because like if you don't finish it, like what does
Any number it's very big and sounds cool.
okay.
That's good.
Are we
Because then we could also add the 2 extra puzzles for teams because I didn't put them in this calculation.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't count them in mine either.
count how many swimming pools would it fill? Okay, now I'm going. Okay, I'll be quiet now. We were supposed to wrap this up.
Okay.
I'll
So
calculate that
team
later.
with 170 pieces. I don't know how many.
I'm sure I will have a viewer or somebody who will calculate this swimming pool scenario.
Well,
Did anyone of you participate in the world record puzzle last year?
No,
I
teams.
didn't.
Sarah was also doing teams.
Yeah, well, I could have done it, but I was like, I'm not trying to do it during the competition, like right before. I told them, I'm like, you can't do it because I'm not doing a 2,000 piece puzzle and then 2 1,000 piece puzzles, a 500 piece puzzle, and a 1,000 piece puzzle in one day. Like, my back is already screaming.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder how it's going to work this year.
Yeah.
They should not do it or do it on like welcome day.
They're doing it on Wednesday?
Yeah, wasn't it quite early on before the competition starts?
Yeah, before the competition starts.
Yeah, on Wednesday morning, there is just that. Okay. We said time to go.
Okay.
It's kind of like an awkward bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night or good day.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good night.
Bye.
Ciao. Ciao, 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 ciao.